Yeah, hi everybody. So I think just a little moment. Yeah. Hi there, Minderji. Vidur is keeping us entertained.
Hi, Sushmita.
I love kids. I think there should be more kids in our business offices every single day. Our lives would be so much greater. Well, who knows? Maybe all our new businesses are going to be at home anyway. So, what happened?
Yeah, definitely. That'll be fun to see. Yeah. So, yeah, let's introduce. Let me just invite everybody. Hi everyone who all are here. So it's a pleasure to see you all here. And today we have with us Laleh Hancock. Can you pronounce your name? It's the other name.
It's Laleh Hancock. Yeah, you got it.
Okay, Laleh Hancock. And as per one of our conversation, and it was getting more expansive and it was getting more interesting. And Laleh has been working a lot since years with, she has been a corporate trainer and a lot more, and she has been into access consciousness since how many years? It's been how long you've been practicing these tools?
Since 2012, so over 8 years.
Yeah, great, good. And she's also a Joy of Business facilitator, and we thought having a conversation with all you guys here, and we thought of having a conversation about business and the future. What is the future? What can we perceive the future as? And as we all know, most of us are quarantined. Most of us, especially in India, where we have people joining us, and a lot of conversations that I'm hearing nowadays, it's all about how the earlier businesses and how the firm and structure, they all are crashing down, dismantling, and it's changing, and there is a lot of chaos that's going on around in the world with the pandemic that's there. So we thought of having a conversation and inviting all you guys for the same. So thank you everyone who's here, and yeah, we'll love to have some questions. And Nivedita will be unmuting everybody who has a question. So we'll mute everyone so that we don't have a background noise for now, and we'll begin the conversation. Yes. Oh, wow. So yeah, hi Laleh. So thank you for being here, and let us look at, and I would like to explore and ask you a few questions to begin with.
Sure.
And I would like to know that with everything that's going on, which is totally chaotic in a very linear sense, what is it that you perceive the future of business here on? What do you know about business? And how do you perceive business and the future you're on? And we'd love to hear it from you.
Yeah, and I want to take it back just a step because I know some of the people that I even invited may not have even heard of Access Consciousness or Joy of Business. So if we could just have like maybe a minute to actually kind of lay that land for others that might be watching this later too. Most of us associate the business or our business with this name of an organization that we have, whether it's a small business, medium-sized business, or an enterprise business. But actually the business is so much more than that name. And it actually has its own consciousness. It has its own abilities to gift information, and that information being information of today, but also the whispers that are coming from the future. And before I came to Access Consciousness, I had been in the corporate world, not-for-profit world, the government world. I have over 30 years of business background. And I always had this fascination with how different businesses are. Like you can have one company that does the same thing as every other company in its street, okay? But yet the uniqueness of each of those businesses and the people that it would draw into itself. And with Joy of Business, I remember 8 years ago, we weren't really talking about business. Like most people, you were used the word business or money, and like people would go running into the opposite direction. And now people are actually realizing business isn't what we were taught it is. You know, it doesn't have to be like you said, the form and structures of difficulty. It doesn't have to be that it's there for you to do a lot of work. So, you know, when you asked, what's my awareness of what the future might be with businesses, like that's actually something that I've been doing a lot, is like communicating with my businesses. I have 2 businesses. One is a management consulting company, and the other is a wellness that has all the access tools, you know, all the specialties that I work with. And it's been interesting to every day, it is that you have to let go what you think your business was yesterday. You know, that willingness to like truly, that tool of destroying and creating everything we've projected, expected, and everything we're defining that the business is. And one of those is defining that it's our business. Even if you were the original founder, even if you were the CEO, it doesn't matter. That when you say my business, you actually limit what the consciousness of that business and the future awarenesses can gift to you and also pull into themselves. And right now, the whole world, we haven't had it ever in our generation where we've had such a global stop, halt in life and in business, you know, for the ones who are choosing that. I mean, we've had it that, yes, we had a global depression in 2008, 2009, but businesses still worked. They might have changed the staffing. Finances may have changed. Some clients may have not spent money or whatever, but you really still had businesses still going on. And I think one of the things with the future is we cannot stop creating with the business. You halt now, you're not just going to feel the effects now. The business is actually going to feel those effects today and tomorrow, and maybe into the next time. So my business, both of them, actually, they've been really loud to say, don't stop creating.
Yeah, that's interesting, because one of the questions that we had in the group is, I have a lot of energy with push and pull energy with businesses, which is like, I know I'm a creator. I jump off and I create and approve I create. And then I go for a summer vacation or a winter vacation where I don't have a sense of creation with the business, or as if I have now categorized that as a part when I have to. So it's either or. For there are some people who are looking at like, oh, business as a hobby. Like there are questions in the group where we were asked that, okay, so it's like start and stop, start and stop, start and stop, but what is it that, what can I do to actually have a continuous creative and generative energy where it's not always like a push energy of like really doing with it? So would you like to share some tools around start and stop energy with business?
Yeah, well, think about it. It's stop and start, not just with business. Like most of us who do that, go and then stop, it really is that it reflects in many parts of our lives, which that happens with money too. It happens in relationships too. So that means you're actually pulling your energy out. So, you know, when you pull your energy out of something, just think about it. Like you have a flower, right? You plant some seeds, you put it in dirt, you give it some water, you might put it near where there's sun, and it starts to grow. That's your business, right? But the minute you stop watering, the minute you stop actually doing anything with that flower, it literally starts to die. And that's what you do when you pull your energy out of things. Now, there's a difference in doing versus having your energy in it. So, I guess everyone here, has done some access, so they're aware of like, but there's three kinds of energies, really. Like, you're either pushing the energy out, you're flowing the energy, and you're pulling the energy in. And the business requires different parts of that to be able to grow. So it's not always just about push, it's not about pull, and it's not about flow. It's about knowing when to be all of that, like whatever that moment requires. So you're not going to water your flower, morning, noon, and night. No, you water it when it requires it.
And thank you, that's beautiful, because now what I'm getting aware of, everything that I'm looking at, everything that we have learned about all the success mantras, about the forms and structures of this is the right way of doing the business, and that's the biggest success mantra you'll have, that, oh, this is the way, and persistence and XYZ, all the values attached, systems attached to it. But now what I can see is how many of us have the tools to deal with the unpredictability of what's showing up in a way that we don't stop ourselves, and that we really look into it from the space of awareness, and still willing to look at the future and let the creativity keep growing from here, and our willingness to really look at it from the space of now what's required and what can I be or do different here.
Yeah, you have to be in the question. Like, and that's what I was saying. Like, if you let go your expectations and those reference points of even 10 minutes ago what the business was, and actually ask the business question. Say, who are you? Like, what would you like to create today? And when you include the consciousness of the business, it's your partner in creation. And so most of us think we have to do to make the business survive or to make it thrive. No, actually what you require is for you to be in the question and then follow that energy of what's required, because then you allow the business to be also aware of the whispers of the future and be able to guide you. When you ask business, who or what can I add to you today? Then you might get a awareness that, oh my God, I need to call my mother. And you're like, no, I don't have time. I have to bring in money to the business. I can't call my mother. No, call your mother.
Yeah.
There's something about that action, that action of you getting the ping, I need to call my mom, to call her. Like I did when I'm in Portugal. I am quarantined in a country that I've never been in before. I love it here. But one of the things was I got that ping. I was like, hey, Belapemo, what do you require today? And it was so interesting. It was like, call your mother. And I was like, okay. So I messaged my mom and we had a conversation. And I found out that she has a cousin I've never met that lives in Portugal. And she says, he's very connected. He can assist you maybe in figuring out some immigration things or helping you with the new business you're trying to create. So if I would have just thought that was silliness and I shouldn't have called my mom, I would have never known about this other possibility that's now available for me in the business.
Yeah, thank you. And there are a few new people here that have never been to an Access class maybe, or haven't heard about the tools of Access consciousness. So I would like to also invite them that we are asking questions here to get more awareness. We are not asking questions here to get onto the right answer. We are not looking, searching, and mind-boggling or mind-chattering to get to the right answer the right way. How many times we actually stop ourselves because we already think that we are wrong and we don't know the right answer. We get stuck there and we don't move ahead from that space. So we are looking, and tools of Access consciousness really invite us to explore what is the awareness around it, without the judgment of coming from the space of right and wrong. So is this the right answer or the wrong answer? This is silly, not silly, am I mad, or whatever this mind goes with. So just wanted to add to that. So also, like when you're talking about awareness, Laleh, would you like to share what's the difference between judgment and awareness while we are functioning or we're creating with businesses?
That's actually a great question, because that was going to be my call for tomorrow.
Oh.
You know, it's interesting. Like, all of us, all our lives, we have followed different awarenesses. And so awareness is not something new that right now you have a business and now you have to discover what awareness is. You knew the moment you had to go into your kid's room and see if they were okay. You knew if, you know what, today I'm not driving down this street, I'm going to go a different way. And you found out, you know, there was a traffic jam there. It's like there's all these whispers and awarenesses that have been available for you for your whole entire life. The difference is, as a child, we actually learn to start to judge. We learn that, okay, if I do this, that might be the wrong decision. But if I do it this way, I'm the good girl, you know, or the good boy or whatever. So we're asking you to actually go to your knowing, and not to where you autopilot think is right versus wrong. And the business, the more you actually think something is good or you think something is bad, you only allow you to receive awareness that really matches that point of view. So if your point of view is that right now the world's coming to an end and your business is going to die, you will energetically create everything to make that happen. Now, if your point of view is, okay, there's changes happening on the planet, yeah, business around the world is going to change. Hey, business, what action can we take today that generates and creates to bring in more clients? Or, you know, you just, when you go more from the give a job to your business, okay, give it a job, and then allow it to be a question that's broad. If you say, for example, I'd like to bring in only conscious people into my business, you eliminated like 99% of the world. And we do that. We say, I'm a small business. Let me bring in only people that are local, or let me only bring in this kind of people. Like, you automatically take the skills, abilities, and talents your business has, and you shrink it to match that judgment. So I'm going to ask you guys, everything you've defined what your business is, everything you've defined what your business is not, and who can and cannot be part of your business, whether it's clients, employees, contractors, or anything else. Please, for a moment while we're together, can we just let this go away and destroy and create all those projections and expectations and everything you've defined with it that created the projected futures? Will you let those go too?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Yes, because everything you define is what you will create.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's interesting, because now when people are asking, and I'm really getting a lot of questions around it, okay, so when you look at, okay, what's the future now, what's next, and when you say do not define, because there are questions in the group where business is judged completely from the space of how much money it generates or creates. So there are questions where we are getting
a couple of questions here, Parveen.
Yeah. Okay.
With the changing landscape, amidst this chaos, do startups have a better opportunity to look at ideas to execute them rather than established business giants?
Okay. So it's like the established business giants are shattering in this moment, which is more like, it seems like to be like dismantling or rearranging itself to look different. Yeah. And yeah, so for me, if you be in a question which is like, what do I perceive, be and receive what is possible now, what are the possibilities which are available now, which was never ever available before. We have a huge level of possibilities which we can choose now, which was never ever possible before. And every space opens up a boom full of space of possibilities of magnitude of new choices that we can be. And I think, yeah, with startups or people who are looking for a future with what ideas and, like they said, or disruption ideas, which is like an idea which is absolutely different, which has no reference point, but it's really shaking and looking for a future that has a lot of inclusion of a lot of more energies, rather than their only willingness is to rule the world or control other people, which is very different, which comes from competition, or which comes from a space of I'm the only player or the most powerful player. So what are the energies and what are the spaces that we can invite and be or include in our businesses that's more generative, creative, and that creates more in the world? Yeah.
And that's a great question, because your business actually requires different energies to be able to do anything, from the creativity that comes to a solution, to sharing that information, to having the systems that can support your business. And one thing I'd like to actually put in our awareness, a lot of times when we have difficult moments, it's really easy to say, like, the startup versus that big corporation, but already you're adding judgment. You have to take away anyone who matches the energy of the big organization to never find your business and your company. So this is where our tool of interesting point of view really has to come in, because if you think big companies are bad and small companies are good, you just eliminated a lot of revenue that can come into your business. But not only revenue, you just eliminated the awarenesses that corporations have, the people inside the corporations have. You have to completely put a box around your awareness to anything that they use to function. So when you're willing to say, you know what, this is a time of possibilities. This is the time that I can use my creativity to bring something out into the world that makes the world greater, and not go from that space, like you said, of competition. But like you and I talked, I so perceive the collaborations that can happen now. There's a scientist, and he was looking at the masks and the ventilating machines. And he said what he would like to create, and this is like early on in the quarantine time, it wasn't now, it was a few weeks ago. He said there are brilliant engineers around the world right now sitting at home not knowing what the hell to do. So what I'd like to do is invite them to a creative space, allow them to come where we're no longer looking at competing against each other, but to create an open source ventilation machine that allows us to bring all our ideas together to create. Now, there'll be like a foundation of creation, but because it's open source, anyone can take that and then make it their own. And it's not about one company manufacturing. So I really would like to just invite all of us to the oneness of truly what exists with our businesses and the planet and the universe. Because the minute you're not willing to, and you're making it about you and just your business, you will kill every aspect of your business. But when you actually open it up, and it's not just who can I call for my business, but you even smiling at someone, that action creates this domino effect of generative and creative energy in the whole planet. So really looking at joy business is what brings you joy truly for you. And this is a moment for a lot of us to really look at the businesses we have created, that we just created possibly for the income that it's going to bring our lives. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can still do that. But what else would bring you and your body joy to bring out into the world. And that's the ideas that I'm hearing. That's the, like, people are like, I love to cook and I never even knew how much I loved it. And now they're creating all these menus. And like, it is, because when you have that joy for something, it doesn't matter what it is. When you have that joy, you will pull in, that generative energy will pull in people into that business. They won't know how they found you sometimes, but it's that energy that just magnetically pulls them in.
Yeah.
So everything you guys have decided as who you cannot receive from, whether it's a person, an organization, a system, or anything else, can we just let it go? Just destroy and create all those points of views and truly ask for the infinite possibilities of being, knowing, perceiving, and receiving, and see what else can magically get created in your life and in your business.
Wow, that was brilliant. Thank you for inviting us to more of that space. So we are open for questions, and if people are willing to have, if they have questions, you can raise your hand or ask. You can put it in the chat. Nivedita can unmute them. Yeah. That was brilliant. So yeah, so there are people who are asking questions in the group, which is more like, oh, one of the questions that came up was very interesting, which is, okay, what is the difference between an MBA course and a Joy of Business Masterclass? I mean, if I have words to explain that, but yeah, would you like to put some words to that energy?
Sure. So, you know, an MBA is an MBA, and it's there to give you a lot of resources of, this is how things have been done. Here's some examples, and then go do it. Go make it happen. And you have a degree, and people do that, and that's their choice and makes them happy. Do whatever makes you happy. The masterclass is 3 days of revamping you, your world, and the business. And it really is to take you out of the tools of Joy Business are really interesting, because there's so much in there that's not just applying to your business. So personally, for me, what I have found is, whether I facilitate it or I take it, because I take these classes with others all year long. Like, for me, it's just one of the things that I really enjoy, is that you realize the places you don't even know, you have limited you have limited the business. You know, there's all these hidden agendas we have. There's all of these points of views that they're not even yours usually, but they're things you learned along the way. And then there's questions and tools. And each time it's like, even like, for example, every business requires 3 energies. One is the creator, one is the mover, and one is the connector. And if you're all 3, it's called the foundationalist. And what's interesting, I'm a foundationalist. And before my first Joy Business class, I used to think I was a connector, which I am. It's one of my gifts. But each time I hear it, and each time we're in a group and we're talking about examples, and we're actually putting these tools to action, I perceive a whole new world of ideas, a whole new world of possibilities that are there for the business, but also ways of how I facilitate my own life and truly being that leader of my life. So, you know, I can't compare it with, you know, 2 years or 3 years of a master's degree that you go. I personally have found that people who come, I mean, I've been in business 30 years, and I can tell you, I'm still learning with each one of these master classes. And it's not that I'm learning, I don't know the information. It's that this is world of possibilities that you get invited to.
Thank you, Laleh.
Yeah, that was brilliant. And I love what Simone Melissus invites us to. Like, that one sentence invited me to be a JCF facilitator, which was like, if you have blood running through your veins, you are in business. And that just one sentence, the energy of that was like boom. I'm like, oh my God, if I am my business, now what would I like my life living, all my creations, my kids, and all of that to be like? And the most exciting thing about being a JCF is it doesn't exclude money, finances, asking for more, creating more, but more doesn't have to look like in just one direction, which I found which was so linearly different in different perspectives of different businesses, which is having more was for me was more like a sense of having a more and expanded life, living, business, money, creation, and the joy of having and creating it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And you said it's the business of your life. So it includes money. It includes your business contributing to the generative energies that bring you joy.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the piece people forget. They're like, I have these bills and I need a source of income to pay my bills. Yes, that's one of the many possibilities your business can bring you. But if you're willing, like I said, that oneness, like if we're willing to get out of our little box and actually be part of the universe of possibilities, what we do is we can allow the business to also contribute to the other things you like to add to your life. Like you said, the people who like do business, and then they go away for 3 months. Well, what if you didn't have to go away from the business 3 months energetically, but you can still allow the business to generate the energies that allow you to take the time that you require for you and your body and your life. What I'd like to actually share is one of my favorite, well, I have so many favorite questions, but there's one particular one. What energy, space, consciousness, choice, magic, miracle, mysteries, and possibilities can I be to make money with my business right away? And anything that doesn't allow that, would you be willing to destroy and create all of it?
Yes, please.
Because your business desires to make money with you. But the minute you have already defined, my money can only come from my class, the money can only come from my session, the money can only come from these toys, the money, like when we define those revenue streams, we cannot let the business branch out to all the generative energies that are on the planet and bring you like a surprise check.
There is a question in the chat. Actually, 2 questions.
Yeah.
So what about the revenue generation from business? If it is working, and also sometimes we end up selling our competitors and not us. I don't know if I framed it correctly, but any view around this will help. What is really keeping us not to be able to generate the revenue for ourselves, but helping the competitors?
Oh, so is that person here? Would that person would love to talk? Yeah?
Yes. Would you like to unmute and show yourself?
Hey, hi, I'm Sushmita, new to Access Consciousness, though I have read the new book. So that was only my introduction to this. So that's my question. So at times what's happening with me is I'm into image consulting business, helping people with grooming, dressing, grooming, behavior and etiquette. So recently launched my business a year ago, and it was, I'm keeping every time when I'm going and trying to talk to clients or the corporates or anyone, I end up selling my competitor instead of myself. So they end up, calling somebody from my institute from where I have actually, took my certification. So it's happening a lot of times, I've realized. But then I'm not saying it's not happening at all. I really have a good set of one-on-one clients because I do one-on-one a lot. But my major target audience are corporates. I want to do corporate trainings and all. But then that is one area would still I haven't hit, and at any time I'm going there, as I said, I end up selling my competitors or my colleagues who are from the same institute maybe. Yeah, that's was my question. Why is it happening? And what is that if you have to? I really don't know how to ask the question also.
Okay,
But
so
what is that?
yeah, so
I look for?
Sushmita, your question is when you go out and in the conversation that you have with people, you sell your competitors more than you. Is that your question?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
I think what she's getting at is when she goes and talks about image consulting and about the school and the background, she ends up selling that more than talking about what she can contribute.
Okay.
Somewhere, I think.
Yeah. So Sushmita, can I ask you a question?
Sure, sure. Parveen, right? Hi, yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Hi. So how much do you judge yourself and the business that you choose to like, or the creation that you choose to have right now?
Really, I haven't thought of it. Um, Somewhere, yes. To be honest, I have this feeling that am I doing the things rightly, or that some kind of that questions are there on my thing. So Nivedita knows me very well for almost like 6-7 years from now, and her husband is my friend. So okay, so what's happening is that recently I've resigned my job and have took this up, but I'm more creative. I want to do things my own, though the business or the other way it's running my institute or they're all running in another way. So they have this business program, and everybody, all the image consultants are under this business program, except a handful of us, maybe like 4 or 5 of me, like people like me who have not taken up that. So if you have enrolled for that program, you are supposed to take that business program also with them, wherein they promote you. So I didn't take it because I was not completely aligned to their ideology, because I have my own way of looking image consulting as it
Yeah.
is, and
So yeah,
doing
let's
things.
keep it. Yeah, let's invite you. I'm just asking. Let's play this questions. Okay.
Yeah.
How much do you judge what you're doing as? How much do you judge you in your business?
Uh, that's a tough question. I don't know. I don't think I have an answer.
Okay. Is it coming like a yes or no, or a like? Do
It's
you?
coming more of like an yes, but I don't want to say yes. I don't want to say yes.
Okay. Would you like to be willing to look at it right away?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So anything that you're willing to receive, do you know that you have a choice to change it as well or create more with it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, are you willing to look at it right now?
Yes.
Okay. So all the projections, judgments, decisions, all the conclusions that you have of you in respect to your business and your business and what it is, would you like to first destroy and uncreate all of that, please?
Yes, please.
Yeah, right and
Yes.
wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So, how much of ease would that be if you're judging something? Would you be able to go and talk about it with total ease?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
okay. So, are you willing to receive all your whatever you're choosing to create with total awareness right now or what it is?
Can you please repeat? I
Would you like to look at your business from the space of interesting point of view?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to. Yes.
Yeah. Would you like to play with more questions so that now you can create and generate whatever you are asking and receive whatever awareness your business is willing to receive more awareness from your business right now?
Yes. I'm open to that receiving. Yes.
Yeah. So also like, would you like to destroy and uncreate all the projections, expectations that you have and you're functioning as with the competition that you have created, all the competitions that you have with and around your business?
Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So would you like to add
I
more
don't know,
to
but
it?
suddenly there is so much of chill, and I don't know, my hands suddenly became sweaty, and I was like,
So
I don't know.
yeah. So when you say competition, is it even yours?
Maybe I'm feeling it's mine, may not be mine actually.
Did you ask a question? Who does that belongs to? Whenever that energy shows up,
No, I've never asked.
would you like to ask more questions around what am I aware of when that energy shows up? Is it even mine?
Yes, I would like to. Yes.
Yeah. So competition, it's absolutely brilliant when it comes to competition, and when it comes to that was the first time ever when I actually looked at competition differently when I came to Access Joy of Business classes, which is I've never heard something which is called as, oh, would you like to have the generative, would you like to receive more from competition that you have never ever received before? And what energy, space, and consciousness can you be to receive the competition as a gift of generating and creating more awareness and out creating it with total ease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to
Lal, yeah.
I'm new to it, I'm trying to follow.
Yeah. Yeah. Just play with it. Would you like to add something, Laleh?
Yeah, I mean, and thank you for all this. And first, can I just thank you for your vulnerability? And, you know, you're new to Access and you read the Being You book, like just everything you're willing to be with this. Like, thank you for that. Because that's where it starts when we're willing to actually be vulnerable with us in the business. And there's a lot of tools that she just shared that maybe right now you might not have heard, but if you hear this over and over again, you'll notice, and we have an amazing person taking some of the quotes and putting them in the chat, but like you'll realize each question she actually shared is going to invite you and your body and the thoughts and the feelings that you have to actually go away, especially the ones that aren't even yours. And instead, for you to have more awareness of something else being possible. Before I came to Access, I didn't look at competition the way that I would say I look at it now. For me, competition was always fun. I would get together with my competitors. We would talk about our differences, and it was never about us against each other. It really was, oh, what do you do? So that we know what other things are available. So if you didn't have any definitions of what competition was, go with light and heavy in your body, okay? If it's light, it's usually more truth for you and resonates more with you. And if it's heavy, it's usually more of a lie and just doesn't resonate with you. And it could change, you know, that can change. But what if there is no competition? Because, like I was saying earlier, you can have the same business all on one street, and yet different people go into each of the stores. There's something about you and your energy, and there's something about the energy of your products, your services, your business that pulls in when you allow it. So, are you willing, those moments that whatever you shared that got your client to go with somebody else, what if that's not where it closes and ends? What if you're willing to be part of the oneness of the universe, that you actually contributed to the whole of everyone in the world? And now what else desires to contribute to you and your business? Because if we do it from the lack and scarcity, that there's only one client, or that there's that client was ours or anything, you literally have to separate you from the oneness of the universe. And then you have to go linear. A plus B equals C. Well, the magic does not happen with A plus B equals C. That's this reality. The magic of you is actually, hey, I just gifted to the world. Now, what if I was willing to receive from all the gifts of the universe from the whole world? What if the business could pull in all the clients that are actually looking for us? looking for our energy, looking for our resources, looking for our skills, abilities, because then you don't go into the lack world, which is a lie and a lower harmonic frequency. Instead, you be that space of joy, joy of business. You be that space of joy, which brings in gratitude, which brings in joy, which brings in money. By the way, money only travels at the higher frequencies, okay? Money is not where it's lack and limited and stress and freak out. So if you're any of those, watch a funny video, do something, go put your feet in the earth, do something that elevates and brings you to that space of joy. Okay, it doesn't have to be laughter, but that space that brings you to that higher harmonic is what you attract. So if you're at that space that everything I do goes to my competition, that point of view you have is that magnetic to bring all your business to your competition. But if you're like, I'm so grateful, I just had this meeting with this client, and you know what? I know whether they're going to be a client I work with today or tomorrow, I generated something in the universe. Now, how can I use that energy that just got generated in the universe by me and the rest of the molecules and pull them to my advantage? How can I use this energy to my advantage? How can the business use this energy to its advantage? And then you'll realize you're living a whole new world of reality than what you think was your only choice.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Thank you, Laleh. Thank you, Parveen. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, thank you.
So welcome.
Yeah, we have more questions, Nivedita.
The ones that we discussed earlier, do you want me to read them out?
Whichever, like if anybody here wants to ask a question, is there anyone?
No.
Okay. So we would love to really, thank you, Laleh, for really coming here and having a conversation that really melted our worlds.
Thank you.
And it has been a great pleasure to have you with us. And wow, India is really getting and really willing to get contributions from all around the world. This is something that I'm aware of. And looking at the future of generative and creative energy that Access gave us access to, which is like, what if generation and creation is an energy which is not limited to categories or form and structures of creativity? What if it's every moment of everything in life? If you're willing to be the generative and creative energy, you can use it in creating and generating a world that's far more greater than ever before. Thank you so much. And where can people find you, Laleh? Would you like to let us know?
Oh, sure. accessconsciousness.com/Laleh Hancock. And one of my businesses is Global Wellness for All. And we have everything on the Facebook there. One of the things that I do want to say, and also accessjoyofbusiness.com is another place you can find me. One of the things I do want to share before we go is that the minute we acknowledge what we're already doing, what the business is already being and doing, we allow it to grow. We allow it to expand. So one of the things with all of you, first, thank you for being here, whether you're watching now or in the future. Like, your curiosity right there, you've got to acknowledge it. That curiosity is what's going to really assist you with your business today and the future. And that curiosity, don't let it go away. Like, every day, be willing to be curious with your business. And everything you've already generated, created, changed, and actualized with the business, would you now be willing to say, hey, I don't know what it is maybe, but I'm going to claim, own, and acknowledge it? Because the minute you do, you just opened all those things that have already been put in the future to have a door to open. Okay? And now What if you no longer had to function from the old reality? When you created that, that old reality is gone. So from that new space, what new possibilities are now available to be physically actualized now?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, what else is possible to be physically actualized now?
Wow.
Because you guys have not been just doing this for 2 days or 3 weeks, you've been at home. Years ago, you planted seeds with this business existing or not. You've planted seeds with your business, even the one that you just put in place yesterday. It's already planted seeds. But if you don't acknowledge, so you can ask, what futures have I, or has the business, whichever you want, generated, created, changed, and actualized that we have not yet acknowledged? And then everything that is, we let it go. Destroy and create all of it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pump, all night, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And then what you do is you now gave it permission for those seeds where the flower wants to bloom. But now you're at that place. You can actually, or space, it's not a real place, it's a space. Now you don't have to let the past get in the way. So please, every single one of you has already generated and created and actualized a lot of things. But if you don't acknowledge it, it literally dies. It goes away.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank
And
Do you have any classes coming up soon?
Laleh?
Yes, I'm actually, I have a Business Done Different Masterclass coming up next week on the 8th through the 10th.
Wow.
I can't wait. I mean, the energy of especially this.
April to?
I'm sorry?
8th April to 10th?
Yes.
And Parveen has it from 10th to 12th.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
What else is possible?
And the best part is we can choose anyone because it's online.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, that's that whole world of co-creation instead of competition. Like, what can I contribute to this creation? Because it's not ours. It's joy of business. It's the consciousness of joy of business.
Wow.
And the businesses in the world. So it's like, what can I be gifting and receiving with you? And what could you be gifting and receiving with me and the creations? Like, truly, if we start to look at it more from a totally different space, what else is possible for us to gift and receive?
Wow, that's beautiful. And I'm very excited for really looking forward for really change. I mean, the joy of generation and creation, as you said, it's more like it's the joy of generating and creating every single moment, which is like, oh my God, it's curiosity, excitement, wonderment, play, and a lot more. So see you guys somewhere, sometime, and thank you everyone for being
Thank you,
here.
guys. Thank you so much. It was great
Thank
to
you,
be.
Parveen. Thank you, Laleh.
Thank you, Nivedita. You were brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Laleh. Thank you, Parveen.
Thank you, everyone.